okay, so you need to be the head of, you know how to be the head of a family. Basically, provide for your family, bring money to the house.
Common in Asian house, they're the main person of the family, and their parents would expect them to get a great jobs like a doctor, lawyers, something like that.
Indian culture, some expectations people have for boys, they should become either a doctor, engineer, or lawyer.
Your parents expect you to be able to provide for yourself. If you can't provide for yourself, how are you going to provide for your family?
Looking up to my father and how he behaved and how he presented himself as the man of the household.
They're not as hands-on with the children, so the man's job is really just to work, but also he's sort of the head of the house, so the rules mainly come from him.
He would ask my mother to come home and take care of us, the children, while he would be out working.
My mom, when she got married to my dad, we first had me. My dad kind of immediately shoved all the responsibility of taking care of a child to her.
My mum is like the main worker of our household, I guess. So when she got the job that she has now, we got a lot of questions where people were like, oh, who's going to look after the children now that your mum's working and stuff? And it's kind of like, my dad is still capable of doing that.
There are a lot of stereotypes towards like girls in Thailand. You're supposed to cook, know how to cook. And every guy, they would look at a girl. The first question they would ask the girls would be like, oh, do you know how to cook?
My mom, she used to be a teacher, but then my grandma and like other grandmas used to be like, oh, if you're having a baby, you should not teach for more 3-4 years, and you should take care of the baby. And then after a time, my mom just had to quit teaching.
I live in Pernambuco, and my mother went to São Paulo she went to college there, and one of the best universities of the country. And she had everything kind of set out to follow her career path as an engineer. She was offered a job, but my dad, when they were dating, looked at her and said, if you decide to take this job, you are going to have to forget about me.
So my mom worked in the Spanish embassy, and she's always talking about how like she would have loved to like keep her job, and it wasn't like she was definitively asked to give it up, but like after I was born, it was just like something that goes unsaid.
So my mom, she has 2 older sisters and a brother, and she's the last born. It's my grandmother's mother-in-law. She really wanted her to have a son, not girls. When my grandmother did get a son, who is my uncle right now, it was very special. So everything that was brand new had to go to him, and he had to have the better education.
Given to girls is this kind of expectation that you're going to have a family one day, and that's not really something that's necessarily optional, because that's what's expected of you, because you see like girls playing with doll houses and baby dolls and planning their weddings and giving their imaginary children names at like 5 years old.
In a lot of our discussions, me going against my dad, I feel as though I'm not being taken as seriously. I feel like he doesn't trust me as much to do certain things, or he doesn't feel like I am entitled to have any sort of opinion, mainly because of my age and because of my position as his daughter, but also because I'm a woman.
Oh, one major thing I was told when I was younger was like, you're too loud. Women are supposed to, be soft-spoken. And I actually regret listening to that, because I used to be a more bubbly person. Even just something simple like you're too loud kind of affects every area. You start to second guess everything you do.
I got told to man up a couple of times, like just to like be more stoic, be emotionalist. We need to be like strong, emotionally and physically strong, not show emotions, like that kind of stuff.
I think I'm a lot more open to those kind of talks about mental health. I don't typically shy away from those. Also, because I'm bisexual, that is something you do not see where I grew up. it is not talked about.
When I used to cry, like especially in India, like if a boy cries, they laugh, literally, they literally laugh, and they feel like, oh, he's such a crybaby, he shouldn't be crying.
They will say boys can only cry 3 times in their life. So the first time is when they get born, and the second time is when their mother dies, and the third time is when they lost their country, like from a war.
I used to like cooking a lot in India, but my friends and some other people used to make fun of it because in India it's like cooking is for girls and sports is for boys. So if I used to like tell them, oh, my hobby is like cooking and stuff, they used to laugh, or they used to call me, oh, he's such a girly boy.
There's a lot more put on women to look pretty and beautiful as opposed to men. Like, it didn't really matter if girls were smart or like athletic or talented in other ways. As long as you were pretty and like dressed nice and had a nice body, you were seen as like a value.
For boys, they have a lot of like the alpha male mentality, and they expect you to have like to be able to get girlfriends and be good with girls or whatever. And after you reach a certain age, if you don't have a girlfriend, they start making fun of you.
My best friend, he's heavily influenced by like the social life around him. He views sex as a status symbol. Like the more girls you sleep with, like the higher your status in the hierarchy is. Which, I mean, I don't agree. I would consider that pretty toxic because you're not really having fun at that point. You're just doing it so you can get the status out of it.
But the boy, he's more praised for it because it's like, wow, you have a girlfriend. For the girl, it's like she sort of gets in trouble for it. She's more punished than praised.
What I think about gender roles in our society, I think it's kind of like, it doesn't really make sense because the things that you're capable of, it doesn't really depend on your gender, because either way, both of you are humans. You both can do everything. Gender is just not a thing to make the line and say you cannot do this.